Happy birthday. How does it feel to be 125 years old? Not every day that you can say that, right? Today, on our actual birthday, we kick off a celebration that will last about 7 months, ending with a day-long party in October. The intervening months will be filled with markers and celebratory events that will challenge us to think about the history and future of our college. It is difficult for me to imagine how far this college has come in 125 years. Not so difficult to imagine changes in the campus. We do have before and after pictures after all. We can stand out front and imagine the red brick wall replaced by a honeysuckle hedge, or empty spaces where Smith and Presser Hall now stand. Though of course nobody really remembers an empty space where Presser now stands. We can imagine William Moss Smith greeting that first faculty, staff, and students in this very space, welcoming them for the first time to Randolph-Macon Women's College. We can almost hear echoes of him describing a college where young women may obtain an education equal to that given in our best colleges for young men under environments in harmony with the highest ideals of womanhood. We can leaf through old catalogs to see how the curriculum has changed, or read the Tatler or 100-year-old copies of the Sundial to see how student attitudes and lives have changed. Without having done that, I am sure that most of my imagination is more historical fiction than true history. Can you imagine what Randolph will be like in 125 years? Neither can I. We all formulate our anticipation of the future based on experience with the past. So let me ask an easier question. How much has the college changed in the years that you've been here? To be honest, I have a hard time remembering what things were like 30 years ago. It is 30 years to the month that I joined this faculty. I had taught at Hollins, so I thought I knew what to expect from students at a women's college. Little did I know how much Randolph-Macon Women's College students would challenge me. I remember being so excited that the library was only a few steps away from my office, and that I could easily get articles from Interlibrary Loan with only a week or so to wait. My next line is, let that sink in for a minute, but I remember teaching my first classes and thinking I was certainly more nervous than my students. Again, I think I've gotten over that one. I remember that when I arrived, there was not much computing power on campus. Student records were maintained on an IBM mainframe that was located in a semi-secret room right next to Psychology 101. Faculty and staff had limited access to desktop computers. There was no campus network, no World Wide Web. Kathy Dupree could tell us stories about running wire for the backbone for the first campus network. If I wanted to show something in class, I had a choice of film strips or 16mm film. I exaggerate only a little bit here. We did have VCRs and TVs on carts and those really, really big video discs. But nobody's ever seen those. All of the boards used chalk. I remember teaching in a classroom that I could easily imagine Celestia Parrish teaching in. To quote a marketing slogan from that same era, we've come a long way, baby. The changes in technology and the beauty and utility of our campus spaces that you all are thinking about now are important. However, they do not really tell the story of changes in RMWC and now Randolph College. Even our transformation to coeducation does not tell that whole story. The real story of change at any college is written from the same source as its consistency and strength. I think that Paula Wallace, who has been here a little bit longer than anybody else, would tell us that Randolph was defined by us, the faculty and staff who work here every day, often for decades at a stretch. I first learned that lesson at a faculty meeting very early in my career, when Bill Coulter stood up and simply read a list of names of faculty who had recently retired. Most of those names were only legend to me, but I knew those people had shaped the college and that we inherited a responsibility to their legacy. We are the college. We write and deliver its curriculum. We develop and deliver its residential life, including the co-curriculum, with all of its richness. Of course, the curriculum is closest to my heart. But you and I all know that the experiences we give our students includes life in the dorms and dining hall, participation in athletics and clubs, volunteer work, and a lot more. You only need to spend a little time on Facebook to see how much relationships with all of us shape students' experiences here. We give all of that to our students for 4 years of their lives, and they then carry it with them and share it with the rest of the world. So here we stand, looking forward to the next 125 years, trying to imagine what we will make of this college for generations of students in the future. I would encourage you much the same way that William Moss Smith might have. Let us continue the development of a college where our young women and men may obtain an education equal to that given to our best colleges in an environment that prepares them to engage the world critically and creatively, to live and work honorably, and to experience life abundantly. Happy birthday, and enjoy your 125 years.